What is good, guys? Harry here, and today I'm going to be talking about how we scaled this clothing brand to 360,000 in sales. As you can see here, we scaled it within about 1 year to 360,000 in sales, and we roughly spent about 158,000 on ad spend. The tracking isn't accurate. The return on ad spend was actually quite a lot higher. It's probably more about 400, 500. But as a lot of you guys know, Facebook is under tracking by quite a lot, so just keep that in mind when I'm going through this case study. So in this case study, I'm basically going to break down how I'm testing ad creatives, how I'm retargeting, and how I'm scaling ad creatives, and you'll see kind of a live case study of it. So as you can see here, I've got a retargeting campaign, I've got a creative testing campaign, I've got actually 3 creative testing campaigns, and I'll come on to why I do that. And then these ones here are all CBOs, which are scaling the winning ad sets from those campaigns. So let me hop into a creative testing campaign and show you exactly how I'm testing ad creatives right now. So this is the ad set. So what we're doing, we're splitting out each ad creative into each individual ad set. So basically how it will look, it was have an ad set here targeting one interest, and I'll show you here. So as you can see here, we're targeting Balenciaga. We're targeting basically the top 5 or 6 countries, keeping everything broad, keeping the age broad, 18 to 65 plus, all genders. And then we have it on manual placements at the moment, because I've found that, especially for clothing brands, which we only run with, is that Instagram works the best. So we're only running on Instagram feed and Instagram stories. It's just typically because people that are into clothing go to Instagram to buy stuff or look at stuff, like it's more aesthetically pleasing. That's why Instagram is working a lot better. And we normally test ad creatives and ad sets at like £10 a day. Not that much. Obviously you can test higher, but there's a slight delay between Facebook and the results showing up in Ads Manager. So I like to do a lower budget just so it gives it a couple of days for the results to come in. So we click into the ad set. As you'll see here, we're running one ad creative. See, a lot of people like to have multiple ad creatives running an ad set, but I tend to split it out, because if you have multiple ad creatives with one ad set, it means that the budget will distribute unevenly, and it could just distribute unevenly because one of the ad creatives got approved before another ad creative, which you don't really want. It might not be the best performing. If you want to test multiple ad creatives within one ad set, I'd recommend testing a max of like 3, depending on your budget. But that's what I found. I've used that in the past and that has worked. I just like to isolate each ad creative, which is more time consuming, but that's why people hire us to take care of their Facebook ads. So now I've showed you how I set up my creative testing campaign. What I'll show you now is kind of what we're doing. So the old way of running Facebook ads, but Facebook ads have changed over last year dramatically. So the old way would be like you're testing like one ad creative maybe per week, every couple of days. And then what you'd do, you'd find a winning ad creative pretty quickly. And then what you would do is test that ad creative for multiple different audiences. And then you're able to scale those audiences pretty easily. And you can basically scale via just duplicating them and changing the audience. But the new way is that you basically have to ramp up your testing on ad creatives. So right now we're testing about 5 new ad creatives per week, which is actually on the low end. I would recommend testing more. And then once we find a winning ad creative, whether it's a certain product or just that angle's working really well for that product, is that we'll create 5 more similar ad creatives to that winning creative, because Facebook is mainly a game of creative now. And then we'll scale those ad creatives with multiple audiences, like you can see in the Ads Manager. So that's a reason why I've got 3 creative testing campaigns, is because I'm constantly having to test ad creatives, testing 5 a week, and then duplicating it, and then testing a load of similar ad creatives to that. And the content that I'm finding really well for clothing brands, working really well for clothing brands right now, is stuff like just up close carousels. So a picture of someone wearing your product, it can literally be taken off an iPhone. Actually, it's better if it's taken off an iPhone, and that's working quite well for us right now. Because people get to see the fit of the product very quickly in adverts, and people care a lot about the fit of the product and kind of the quality of the product and that type of thing. You got to capture it in an image, and that will capture your target market's attention. So what do we do once we found a winning ad creative and a winning audience? So what we do then is, so when we're going to scale ad sets, what we'll do is we'll duplicate the ad set into a new campaign. Let's say that Balenciaga one was working really well. What we'll do is duplicate it, and then we'll go new campaign, and then we'll call it CBO Balenciaga. And we'll switch this to CBO. And we'll up the budget by this is how we scale it. We'll up the budget to, like, let's say 70 a day. And then we'll keep on pushing that budget every couple of days if it's working well. And what you do inside the ad set is that you duplicate it 3 times. So you duplicate that one ad set 3 times so it looks something like this. So it looks like this. So it's all the same ad set, all the same targeting, and the CBO should distribute fairly evenly. And I found that doing this gives a lower cost of purchase and higher return on ad spend. So you just go ahead and hit publish. Right, now retargeting. So retargeting, what especially works well with clothing brands is normally because the brands that I work with personally, they have a big following on Instagram. So as you can see here, we usually retarget their Instagram and Facebook following, which is one of the best audiences, it gets the highest return on ad spend. And then we test multiple creatives on that audience. I found that videos work well on that audience. We still use carousels on that audience, but stuff like reviews works well. Stuff like kind of user generated content, stuff like influencers wearing the product, gifts work well on these audiences here. And then also the other thing we do is retarget, but we retarget in a stacked way. So we keep retargeting on worldwide 18 to 65, and then basically we stack a load of different audiences on top of each other, because ever since the iOS 14.5 update, audiences have got a lot smaller, and putting them all in one ad set means that the audience for that ad set gets bigger, and you can scale up that as well. So yeah, guys, I hope you found that valuable. If you're a clothing brand doing 20,000 plus per month in revenue and you want me to implement strategies like this for your advertising and scale your clothing brand, then hit the button below to schedule a call with me, and we will see if we can help you and increase your sales. So yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.